Hey man, say man, it's your boy Z to P with another episode of Three Ps in a Pod. And man, I'm telling you, round one brought us everything we was hoping for. We had 3-1 comebacks. We had injuries that changed the series. And I know I wasn't hoping for no injuries, but I know a lot of y'all be hoping for injuries because this type of messed up individuals we working with in the world today. Y'all be fucked up in the head. We gonna get into it. Like I said, underdogs was punching back, and now we got 8 teams left and zero fluff. You know what I'm saying? This the cream of the crop here. These last 8 teams, these the ones who real deal contenders for the championship. Who will be one of these 8 teams gonna hold up that Larry O'Brien at the end of the motherfucking day. That's what I'm saying. That's what it's time. It's time. June almost here. Is May, y'all. Everybody know, especially not just y'all casuals, but real fans know what time of year it is. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm just getting a little emotional because it's time of the year. You know what I'm saying? We're going to get into it. 2 separate 3-1 comebacks. One from the Pistons, one from the 76ers. OKC swept. Everyone else just survived. You know what I'm saying? Scoring down across the playoffs. Important analytics. The numbers don't lie, y'all. Pace is a little slower in the playoffs. Defense matters more, and the margins are razor thin. And these past few playoff games, especially the teams who's been winning, the teams who led in the 3-point percentage in the regular season, not many of them have survived and led went into the postseason, especially the last of these 8 teams. The last of these 8 teams are teams who really didn't, shoot the 3 ball like that. Most of these teams are teams that get downhill, try to attack the post, try to get in their paint. Very heavy offensive rebounding teams. One of the heavy offensive rebounding team that actually went home is the Rockets. And, of course, they had key injuries like Steven Adams. But like I said, the pace is a little bit slower. And we're seeing a trend where 3-point shot is not just important. We're seeing the transition in the league, especially I believe it's brought on to you by players like Shai Gilgeous-Alexander being more of a mid-range player. You won an MVP, could win 2 back-to-back MVPs, being more of a mid-range in the paint down the hill type scorer. So I don't know. How do you feel about seeing that in the league? I feel like it's good for the league. Finally seeing that transition. Playoff wide trend, postseason offensive rating and true shooting both dropped significantly. Compared to the regular season. Let's wrap up round one real fast. Like I said, we had 3-1 comebacks. Defense over offense, honestly, teams under 100 points, nearly 30% of playoff games so far, way above normal. We have several series where the score of both teams never even reached 100 points. That's what this is saying. This directly affects round 2 outcomes. Bench value is back. Backup guards and wings scoring the entire series for these teams. Injuries are forcing 8 to 9 man rotations to matter again, and Game 7 survivors are emotionally spent. And we're gonna get into that later after we seen that collapse by the 76ers the other night. Pistons, Cavs, 76ers all went to 7. It's a historical trend. Game 7's teams often start slow the next series, so that could be a correlation to why the 76ers started slow. Field goal percentage of losing team series. The losing teams of this series all shot under 45% from the field goal in the playoffs. But like I said, we had some incredible 3-1 comebacks in the playoffs from players like Joel Embiid in the 76ers. He really balled out, really showed that, he had that grit, that grind. He has that emotion. He really wants this. Watching this game, you really could tell Embiid did everything he could to pull this win off against the Celtics. And it's a huge hump. The 76ers haven't beat the Celtics in the playoffs in some decades. So this is huge breaking news for the 76ers fan base. So shout out to y'all. Like I said, Embiid really wanted this game. Everybody, he really wanted this fucking game. Coming off the appendectomy, coming off so many knee issues. The man don't even got no knee there. If anybody need a BBL, it's him for that fucking knee. If anybody want to transplant Joel Embiid a knee, I'm not sure it'll work, but the man need one. But he been showing his ass off in this playoffs. And Jaylen Brown said some shit about Flop. We're going to get into that later. But like I said, look at this. Full team effort. Nick Nurse did his job, calling them plays. Shout out to VJ Edgecombe and Tyrese Maxey, that young backcourt duo. really a lot of energy, a lot of excitement, a lot of potential heading into the future for this 76ers core. And like I said, shout out to Embiid, really showed his behind that game. Just a lot of high energy, good plays. Like this was a really good game to watch. Unfortunately, Jason Tatum did not suit up for this game. It was a late stretch before the game started, and he was dealing with some not the leg that he injured with the Achilles, but it was some knee stiffness or something like that. But it was a nice, impressive run for Boston, honestly, to see them even get this far with everything that was going on. Nice to see Jason Tatum get back and get into that form. He looked really good out there. Unfortunately, they didn't capitalize on the moment, and 76 sent them home in 7. They lost a 3-1 lead, and it was just unfortunate to see. But fortunate for the 76ers. And like I said, they took the 7, so of course they're going to have some Game 7 hangovers like they did in this previous game. We're going to get into that later. Against the Knicks, they just looked so gassed out there. And then you seen in the last clip, Joel Embiid was just so fucking gassed playing the game, dripping sweat. Like I said, the man gave his heart, he gave anything, and you cannot question his will and his love for the game. And the next series that also went to 7, we have Cade Cunningham and the Detroit Pistons taking on the Orlando Magic. And just, that game started off, I cut it off, honestly, I'm not going to lie to you. The Orlando Magic was kicking their ass the first half really badly. So I just, me and my kids, we was watching something. I can't remember what it was. We watched the new Avatar movie, The Last Airbender. Yeah, I got the John. The John so far, I ain't gonna count one of my favorite movies. But anyway, we gonna get into it. Me and my kids was watching it. Then the movie was over. Come back. Game was over. Cade Cunningham was talking to the reporter. He was like, "Yeah, the best words are game." That was game 6. But yeah, that was game 6 that happened like that. What did happen game 7? Because I know I watched it, but I believe it was a late comeback for the Pistons. They really, showed out in that game to get that win. It really wasn't hard for them, honestly. What I remember is the Orlando Magic missing a lot of shots. I remember Desmond Bain missing some key threes. I remember Jalen Suggs just building fucking brick houses out there. Every game shooting 0 for something or 2 for whatever. It was just fucking terrible for Jalen Suggs. Hopefully he gets some help this off season, working on that offensive bag, because he was a great defender. And don't get me wrong, but his offensive bag was fucking terrible. Jalen Suggs, I don't know what you doing, but them bricks that you be throwing up, that shit is not cool, my boy. Not cool at all. You really could have helped your team. Not to say that everybody else, y'all really didn't do shit to help Banchero. That's all I remember from that game. Banchero was showing the fuck out. Cade Cunningham did his thing. We go leave it there. Detroit, they gonna play Cleveland, and we go break down what it looked like. But like I said, if you look at this shit, they just missing shot after fucking shot after fucking shot. I forgot the music was still playing, y'all. I'm so fucking sorry, man. We 8 minutes into and y'all are hearing music in the fucking background. It's fucking crazy. I'm so sorry, man. But I hope y'all can hear it. But damn. Like I said, man, it was just a lot going on in these series. Like it was a lot of fucking bricks. If you look at this, bricks, just bricks after fucking bricks after bricks. You would think they was 07, 06 Gucci trapping with OJ the Juice Man with Zaytoven in with the beats. And this is shit I'm saying. Like, you would think they got some kilos missing over there in El Salvador or some shit. All these bricks that they had in the first round in the NBA, especially brought to you in part by the fucking Pistons. That shit was just terrible. That's why I turned off the fucking game. I don't remember the shit, because the shit, no. You don't get away that much with no motherfucking bricks. Next, we got Jaylen Brown discussing what was going on.
Same move. Same rep.
In the first round.
Oh, it's nothing? It's a play on, right? It's weird activity.
Weird activity, he says, as he's discussing the officiating in round 1. He talked a lot about how Embiid was flopping and getting certain calls that, certain individuals like himself do not normally get. And he did give Embiid his credit, but he was saying stuff like what was the exact quote? A lot of frustration. The officiating narrative has become part of the story. They had an agenda.
Fucking on the red board.
They clearly had an agenda quoting Jaylen Brown.
Every time. I don't know if it's because I pissed the refs off. I've been critical about them, and I called them out a bunch of times. They were like, you know what, I got you in the playoffs. Watch this. And that's exactly what they did. And when you're in the middle of the series, you know, I don't got time to say that because that's a distraction. I'm trying to focus. But now that's over, some bullshit. I've been doing that all regular season. Everybody's been doing it all regular season. You're gonna call that shit on me every time. And y'all don't see it.
Yeah, as you can see, he's clearly fucking
either.
frustrated at the calls, everything. Jaylen Brown is fucking mad. He's fucking infuriated. And it's fucking wild for him to hop on Twitch right after the round one loss, right after you fucking blew a 3-1 comeback. But that's neither here nor there. But you are here with me in Cancun right now. So shout out to the 76ers for doing their job. And, you know, the officiating's at the end of the day, big bro, you had so many opportunities, 3 opportunities to close these folks out, and you did not. And that is on you. And you hold that L. You and the rest of your team, Jason Tatum, Joe Mazzulla, your barber who put that black spray in your fucking head, all y'all hold that L because it's on you, my brother. I'm just saying. It's as simple as that. And it's the honest to God truth. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get into this second round because there's what a T at, man. You know what I'm saying? We had a lot of man, I bet y'all like, bro, what the fuck is this man I ain't got going? But I'm just in the zone, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm feeling really good today. I don't know. All this playoff action really just got me excited. He had a lot going on, like I said, y'all. Pistons versus Cavaliers. Okay, we're gonna get into that matchup. But I want to do the Knicks versus the 76ers first because honestly, in that matchup, I expected there to be some hangovers for the 76ers simply because they went to the 7 games with a championship caliber team in the Boston Celtics. And the Knicks had some rest after getting rid of the Hawks in 6. So you expected this. Then the Knicks coming off this huge blowout win against Atlanta. You know, team chemistry and the aura in the locker room is really high right now. So they came out the gate and just blew the fucking 76ers out the fucking water. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. They started off early and it started off bad early. Jalen Brunson was on the fucking tear. Brunson, high usage scorer, and he is the ends in the cog in his Knicks offense, this Knicks team. Players like Karl Anthony Towns have been getting the ball. He has been facilitating the, you know, Karl Anthony Towns has been facilitating the offense a little as of late, a little bit more, and that's why they have been on this run. It allows Brunson to play off ball, being more of like a 2 guard, and let him get downhill or do these spot up threes that he likes to shoot, and it's really benefiting the Knicks because even if you do try to, you know, defend Brunson, and he pretty much shoot over any fucking body, which you can see. We're gonna get into that later, but players like OG Anunoby, huge in the first round. It's gonna be very key in this round, knocking down his shots. He's been knocking down his threes, being a great rebounder, being great on the defense. Josh Hart as well. Mitchell Robinson, they tried to play Hacker Robinson, but they still pulled off this win. Embiid is returning. He still dominated in the first round. But like I said, he has them legs. He's been gassed. Maxey did not perform as well as I thought as he would have. Brunson really just took it to him out there in that first game. Maxey had under 16 points, really blew my parlay. I'm so fucking mad at him, but I know he's going to bounce back. We're not used to that. The last time that these guys played in the playoffs, Maxey averaged like over 30 points a game down there, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm looking for Maxey to have a bounce back game. Honestly, next game is just we're gonna see it's gonna be there. They have a lot of explosiveness between their young core with VJ and Maxey. So I'm gonna look into that going into these next games when they get their legs back under them, when they get down into it, because I believe the series is gonna go 6 or 7. Honestly, I don't believe 76ers is just gonna get their ass beat like that. Game 1 is not the 76ers. I don't believe so. This is just a fluke. Like I said, they were tired. When Maxey and VJ get out there, start attacking Brunson, start attacking McHale, because I still got APB out on him. He showed up in a couple of games, game 1, but also he was missing. So McHale needs to show up. It'll be very vital for them, especially with role players like OG Anunoby Anunoby define himself as that key number 3 guy for this Knicks roster, you will need guys like Mikal to keep holding up their end of the bargain, just doing something out there because Josh Hart most definitely is just a good glue guy, high octane energy, just doing everything that the team needs of him. So you're gonna need plays like that from Kelly Oubre, which he's very capable of doing. With Kelly, he's gonna be key in this series. If Kelly knocks those down, those threes for Philly, it's a whole different story. Kelly and VJ, if they are knocking down threes for the Philadelphia 76ers, then over 90% of the time that the 76ers are going to win that game. Like, it's just, it opens up the floor. It gives pressure relief off Embiid, gives pressure and relief off Maxey, allows those guys to dominate in their two-man game because you can't load up on them and the switches in the pick and roll. You got to worry about them dishing to those guys on the perimeter and them hitting those shots. So it's going to be very key in this matchup for the 76ers. Can they knock down those threes? Can they knock down those corner shots? And of course, for the Knicks, it's been great for them. They have elite offensive rebounding out there between Karl-Anthony Towns, Josh Hart, OG Anunoby, Mitchell Robinson. Their defense has been elite. Like I said, Mikal has been playing great defense. He has to step it up to if he wants to boost his team to where they want to be and head into the finals, not just conference finals again, but the finals. Mikal has to be absolutely tremendous on defense. OG Anunoby has been tremendous on defense and with the rebounding. Cat has been doing his thing. Mitchell Robinson has been doing his thing. Josh Hart. We have Sparks coming off the bench. They're holding their own because they will need to because, Jaylen Brunson, he is not top 5 defender in the league, probably not even top 15. He will get targeted. He will get bullied out there. So they have to make sure they do their job so the team can hide him. Honestly, they're going to have to hide Jaylen Brunson. And it's going to be a lot easier to hide Jaylen Brunson because he's a guard than hiding a bigger player like Embiid because they're going to put Embiid in those switches. They're going to put Embiid in those pick and rolls. They're going to try to get him as tired as they can because it's a double-edged sword for Embiid. Not only is he not because of his knees, he's limited in his mobility, especially laterally. He's not going to be able to contest those shots and get back to the perimeter if they have him in those actions back to back. And going on as the series progress, as the games progress, him being constantly in those actions, being targeted like that, he's going to be exhausted. And we know Embiid, he doesn't have that, that reservoir, that engine behind him. He gets tired. He's a big dude, and it's rightfully so. So Maxey is gonna have to, really, really help in this series. Like I said, these key guys, role players, Oubre, VJ, whoever they have come off the bench, and that's the very difference because Andre Drummond, he's gonna get you rebounds. He's a key offensive rebounder for the 76ers, but they need that guy to come off the bench to score. Quentin Grimes has to be that guy. Quentin Grimes has to step up and show that he deserved that contract. If Quentin Grimes has a series where he's averaging 12 to 18 points a game, the 76ers are coming out. But if he's averaging under 10 points a game, the 76ers are not going to win this series because you have Jordan Clarkson, who's going to give you about 7. Landry Shamet is going to give you about 5 to 7. You have Mitchell Robinson coming off the bench. You have these great core guys that, Mike Brown loves to use and knows how to use, and they have plenty of experience in the regular season to, put them in those actions, put them in them situations to get the best results out of this team. And like I said, the Knicks show great pace and space control, especially controlling the defense. Brunson is going to be high usage, but it's going to work in the Knicks' favor being this physical, grind you down defense, especially for Embiid. But in that first game, Brunson just showed the fuck out. Like I said, it was just a masterclass of Brunson. Nothing really you can do with him. No matter who you put on him, just bucket after fucking bucket after fucking bucket for Brunson. Like I said, Kelly Oubre, come get this shit. Right step back on PG. Bam, in your motherfucking face. You come get this shit. Anybody, everybody. It's a bake sale for this shit. Everybody is come on. Come get this shit. And that's why Brunson was cooking. He had like 27 points in the first half. Brunson was absolute motherfucking dog out there. Like I said, Brunson is just one of the ones. He's gonna be vital in this series. I took the under on him. I don't know why I did that in the first game. He did have that rest, and he just showed out like that. Like I said, as you can see, he was just kicking ass in that game one. They blew the 76ers out the fucking water. Just tragic. Shot over 60% in game one. Brunson was in full takeover mode. He had 35 points to complete the game. And beating Maxey gave them the best two best players advantage. Question is health for the 76ers. Like I said, if Embiid can be Mr. Iron Man, have that stamina, and if he can be healthy for this series, Knicks lead the playoffs in assist to turnover ratio. The Sixers historically struggle to defending the pick and roll, especially pick and roll ball handlers. Prediction: Knicks in 7. Feels like one of those MSG Energy Garden series. If the Garden is just, if the Garden is out being the Garden, all that energy, all that noise, then 76ers have a big chance losing. And Embiid hinting to that after the game 7 win. He said that he buy tickets. Please don't sell your tickets to the Sixers fans, because the last time they played, it felt like the Knicks had the home court advantage even when they was at Philly. So that is huge for them. So if the Knicks want to win this series, they're gonna have to. I mean, if the Philadelphia want to win this series, they're gonna have to get that shit into gear. Honestly, they can. If Embiid can tilt the series even at 80%, Maxey can explode for 30 plus on any night. The Sixers pick and roll forces defensive rotations, and if players hit shots, spacing opens up. This is exactly what I said on the rundown. We're gonna get into the Knicks series, the Spurs versus Timberwolves. I don't know if anybody watched that game, but it was absolutely fucking amazing. I've been hearing a lot of the word goaltending has been thrown around a lot about my nigga Wemby because he had 11 blocks. He just big as hell. I mean, what do y'all want him to do? The refs didn't call that shit. Y'all artificial ass refs who be talking all that shit. Y'all ain't in the motherfucking game. He had 11 blocks. Let that shit go. All this goaltending. No, he wouldn't have got away that motherfucking much. You feel me? No. So, like I said, Wemby was tremendous. It has been an incredible playoff debut for Wembyama. After beating the Trailblazers in the first round, really showed out, especially after that scary concussion that he had. Been an impressive debut for the whole team. Honestly, them young boys, them young dogs, they've been balling. Wemby is conventional two-way force, best rim protection in the playoffs, period. Next best is the team that they're playing. Kelsey emerging as an elite pick and roll defender, elite two-way option, honestly. Spurs flipped the games with defensive runs, elite shooting, quality, forcing bad looks, and creating great ones. But they still lost that game because Minnesota and Ant-Man just did they motherfucking thing, man. Ant-Man going down the hill, putting that motherfucking Victor Wembanyama face for the threes. Anything, you name it, he did it. Ant-Man showed out. Like I said, it was a very physical, athletic, aggressive game. They have a physical, athletic, aggressive ass roster down from Ant-Man all the way down to Shannon Jr. It's just been a great run for the Timberwolves, and they're trying to get back to the conference finals again. The Wolves thrive in transition off turnovers. Nas Reed spacing and bench scoring is key for them. McDaniels and elite perimeter defense is very key and vital for this team, especially with Rudy Gobert holding down that paint like that. It was very key in this win. But in the wrap-up of this game, the key was the closeout roster. Rudy wasn't on the court in the last half of the fourth quarter. It was a lot of foul trouble going on for both teams on both sides. Stephon Castle actually fouled out this game late in the fourth quarter. But like I said, it was the spacing provided by Nas Reed, and going with the Nas Reed, Jaden McDaniels, Julius Randle, Anthony Edwards lined up out there, created a lot of spacing for the Timberwolves, and really drove Victor away from the paint, which is what they were looking to do, especially with players like Stephon Castle out. Spurs really did their thing. Like I said, they had a lot of what is the word? Not turnover issues, that there too, but foul trouble. They would have had a lot of foul trouble for multiple players throughout the majority of this game, and still had a chance to win this fucking game on a late possession from Julian Champagny. He had the great look for the three, and Mitch Johnson didn't want to take the time out. He just wanted to go because honestly, I've been thinking about it all night. It was probably the right play because if you let Minnesota set up for their defense, then you're not going to get their shot off. So he tried to give them the benefit of the doubt and try to get them, a fresh bucket, raw bucket, and see if they can make it. He had a good look. It just didn't go down. So this is going to be a back and forth series to me, honestly. Why San Antonio is favored because of Wemby's defensive pressure and everything that's provided by that perimeter defense. They have everything you need. They have a bench. They have shooting. They have defenders. They have playmakers. They have everything over there in San Antonio. And still, like I said, Minnesota still managed to steal game one from them. Ant can swing an entire game his fucking self, which he did. He tried everything. He came off the bench and he still helped his team get a win. Shout out to Ant-Man. He's a fucking dog. He tried everything to get back on the court. Wolves, Lint Brothers, Lint bothers the Spurs ball movement. Nas Reed pulls Wemby away from the rim. Minnesota thrives in chaotic, high tempo stretches, and hot shooting can flip the series for Minnesota, which we all know they are very capable of doing. But in this game, we're gonna get into, like I said, Victor Wembanyama was just a fucking menace out there, blocking everything. Victor had 10 fucking blocks. He had blocked one ball with two hands. That's how fucking cold he is. Man was just up in the air. He's a motherfucking monster. He's a beast. Wemby is a fucking freak. Rightfully so, named the alien, honestly. Wemby just balled out there. Nice to see from this young player. Honestly, like I said, even though in the loss, they gave the Timberwolves a run for their money. Timberwolves just managed to steal this game because they have the playoff experience, and you can tell, especially in this game one, you can tell where the experience lent itself its favor to the Timberwolves in this game. We got some more matchups to get into. They're still young. It was returning, changed everything. It was a physical, ugly, grimy style game. Wolves win this game. Wolves will win games if they keep the points on the 105 total points. Spurs struggle when Wemby forced to create late. Um, I believe Minnesota in 6. Talent wins, but Minnesota makes this hell. Um, Let me see. Another was the next series getting into. Coming on tonight, we have the matchup between OKC Thunder and the Los Angeles Lakers. And in this series, is a lot of question marks because we don't know if and when Luka Doncic is gonna be back. OKC had a lot of risk after the round one. They swept the fucking Suns. It wasn't even a competition for them. They just looked fucking tremendous out there. Great showing for the defending champs. They have the number one playoff defensive rating, deepest rotation left. The Lakers, LeBron still been schemes. Injuries are already a factor. Austin Reeves just came back. We still have Luka in the air. Shooting varies and is their real swing card for the Lakers. If you have players like Austin Reeves, Luke Kennard, and even LeBron hitting their shots, if you have players like Marcus Smart hitting their shots. OKC allowed under 90 points twice in round one. Lakers rely heavily on half court isolation late. And the key in this series is going to be if for both teams. While OKC is favored, they dominate the regular season matchup against the Lakers. Last time we seen them play was the game that Luka got hurt, and it was a fucking blowout before halftime was even. It was a lot of questions why Luka was even in the game at that point because it was such a huge fucking blowout. OKC forced turnovers. LA struggles with ball security a lot. They turned the ball over a lot in their Rocket series. Thunder pace overwhelms Older's Lakers core. Chet space and pulls Aiden away from the rim. And SGA attacks drop coverage relentlessly. And we all know that JJ likes to run that drop coverage in that fucking zone, and that is the type of SJ is gonna obliterate that shit all fucking night. So honestly, you can say that this is a young team, but this shit is out the window. This is a championship team. They had won. They are the defending champs. So I feel like I want to say OKC in 5 or 6. That's if the Lakers can get a game or two, but we'll have to see, especially with Luka out. I honestly don't know, but what the Lakers do have working for them, while the Lakers still have a chance, LeBron controls the tempo and keeps games close. LeBron and Reeves can scale up their perimeter shooting, especially with players like Luke Kennard, as I said. Aiden can punish OKC inside with high efficiency and finishing, which he did in round one against the Rockets. Even in that game that they lost, he had like 18 points, 17 rebounds. He most definitely can do that against the OKC Thunder, against a Hardenstein, against a Chet, if he has the aggression, because Chet can't guard him and somebody else. So the Lakers can most definitely make them play inside the paint. Lakers can slow the game down and force OKC into a half court set. Often, if Luka return mid-series, the matchup shifts instantly. So it depends on if they get shots knocked down and if they are healthy. This what this series is like pretty keen on. And like I said, I got OKC winning this series in 5 or 6. I did have another graphic for the OKC, not the OKC. It's another series that we have going on. Where is? But yeah, the Pistons versus where is it, man? The Pistons versus the Cavaliers. It's gonna be a good series, honestly. Both of them just came from Game 7, so it's gonna be interesting to see how this Game 1 works out for both of them, because both of them should have those dead legs that we seen Philly have in this game in Game 1. Excuse me, guys. I'm just trying to pull up the graphic because I thought I uploaded it, and it turns out that I did not. But everybody makes mistakes. You know what I'm saying? I think this is it. Yes, this is it. Like I said, Cavs versus Pistons, second round series. Cade Cunningham is a dynamic playmaker. Showed his ass out in the round one against Orlando. Was really the bright spot for them. Besides Isaiah Stewart on defense, Ivy is no longer on the team. Why the fuck is this up here? Anyway, gonna get into it. I just wanted to have that up there since I'm discussing this team. I don't know why. Anyway, like I said, we're gonna get quick analysis of the series. It's gonna be very interesting to see. I believe these teams should match up pretty well. Honestly, I had the Pistons winning like 5 or 6 because just their perimeter defense, their defense. Period. In order for the Cavs to win their last game 7 against motherfucking Toronto Raptors, Jared Allen had to have a fucking incredible third quarter. He had the ball out. He had to look like a mini Akeem Olajuwon out there. Motherfucking Jared Allen won it game for them, won it series for the Cavaliers. And unlike the Toronto Raptors, they had pretty good defenders. They had some great, excellent defenders. But actually, Detroit have players like Duran. But we seen him struggle against Isaiah Stewart, but they still, I mean, not Isaiah Stewart, against Wendell Carter, but they still pulled out the win against on this series. But Isaiah Stewart is a fucking lockdown defender. He's gonna give Mobley and Jared Allen plenty of trouble all night, all series. So it's gonna be key for the Detroit Pistons. If you get their bigs out of the game for the Cavaliers, then it's pretty much gonna be easy wipe it up series for the Detroit Pistons. Just being honest with you, because you have Asar Thompson out there able to guard players like James Harden, or honestly, you just put him on Donovan Mitchell and let Cade guard James Harden. Cade is an incredible defender, so I just don't see the Cavaliers having that having it for this team. They might pull off a game or two, but Cade is 6'5", 6'6". Dunn is like 6'1", 6'2". It's gonna be hard to get off your shots against him. We've seen this team struggle against the wings and athletes that Toronto have, and this Detroit Pistons team is built very similarly, especially size wise and length wise. So we've seen James and Dunn struggle against this. We've seen Screw struggle against this. We've seen Schroeder. So we still gonna have these same type of matchups for these players. You have a 6'6" K, you have a 6'9" Tobias Harris, you have a 6'7" Asar Thompson, you have Ron Holland coming off the bench 6'7", you have like I said, Isaiah Stewart. It's going to be very key for Detroit if Duncan Robinson can knock down his shots and if they can get some, bench movement. But for the Cavaliers, they really going to have to be consistent. They're going to really have to knock down their shots. James Harden is just going to have an incredible straight 7 games, because if he's not, then it's easy to wrap up. Dunn is, I'm assuming, is going to struggle because you have an all NBA defender in Asar Thompson who's going to pretty much be on him all night. So this is going to be a very tough series for the Cavaliers, and I have Detroit in like 5 or 6. Just being honest. And more news of the NBA. We have Austin Rivers and Draymond Green fucking beefing. What's up with that?
Come on, Draymond. This is ridiculous. Seriously. Ridiculous. But you know what? I'm going to address it because you crossed the line and you were mad disrespectful for whatever reason. You've been around too long. We both were drafted in the same class. The fact that you don't have the wherewithal to do your due diligence and actually understand I was being highly complimentary of you on the Dan Patrick Show. But it's you, and I shouldn't be surprised. You always act irrationally, emotionally immature, and your anger always puts you in hot water. So here I am having to address a video of you belittling my career. First off, Draymond, we weren't the same players in high school. I don't care about our numbers being similar. I did it at the national level, the top level. Hence why I got the Naismith Award, and I got pretty much every award you can think of in high school. I was ranked number 1. You were ranked, I don't know. So cut it out. Next, college, you actually were a really good college basketball player, but it's hard.
Mine said I was ranked number 1. You was ranked without now.
It's hard to compare because I was only there for 6 months. Something you could never do. Talk about I was,
Mine said you was there 6 months. You had to stay there a couple of years, Dre.
One of the featured guys. No, I was the guy. I led my team in scoring. I was first team All ACC.
He was the nigga. You were the backpack.
Freshman player of the year, lottery pick. Stop. Next, the NBA. Hey man, you got it, Dre. I mean, listen, I played in the NBA for more than 10 years, more than a decade, but 11 years. But I'm not a Hall of Famer like you, so I'll give you that credit. All right, you
are a Hall of Famer, incredible fucking defender. You just talk a lot of shit.
got it. But let's peel back that onion and understand why. Easy, Tiger.
Okay, onion.
Okay, you have the delusion, the non-wherewithal, the irony of you saying I'm part of the biggest bailout in NBA history. Draymond, you were the luckiest basketball player I think I've ever seen, especially in modern day history. Let's talk about that. You were drafted to a franchise with a Hall of Fame front office, Bob Myers.
Let's talk about it. Bob Myers, Jerry West, okay, Hall of Fame coach Steve Kerr, he's spitting there. Hall of Fame player, and Klay Thompson, Hall of Fame player, and KD. We ain't even mentioned the greatest shooter of all time, and Steph Curry. You had the Finals MVP, and Andre Iguodala, one of the greatest glue guys of all time, one of the best defenders of all time, and he just gonna keep running down. Don't forget Sean Livingston.
Hall of Fame coach Steve Kerr. The greatest shooter of all time, and perhaps the top 5 player of all time, Steph Curry, Hall of Famer. One of the greatest shooters, top 5 shooter of all time, another Hall of Famer, Klay Thompson. The Swiss Army knife himself, the guy who could do a little bit of everything on the floor, Andre Iguodala, another Hall of Famer. I know, keep up, it's a lot of talent. Not to mention one of the most lethal scorers of all time and arguably a top 10 player of all time, Kevin Durant, the same guy you chased off because of this, your mouth. You talk too much. And that's not even counting the plethora of talent around those guys. The Sean Livingstons, the Barbosas, the Andrew Wiggins, the Jordan Pooles, who you also chased off. Cut it out. Draymond, you're the backpack jump shooter. You're the guy that everyone leaves open. No one guards you. There are hours.
Damn, my boy said you a backpack jump shooter. Nobody guards you. We got straight film of niggas leaving your ass open.
Hours and hours and hours of film of just you being left wide open. In fact, anybody can just YouTube or Google or watch any Draymond game ever, and he's open all game. There are clips of you getting a rebound and just driving in a straight line and just getting a wide open layup because everyone's fanning out to guard the actual talent on the team. Talk about Steve Kerr hindered your career. Bro, Steve Kerr made your career. How dare you? Coming at me.
Steve Kerr did what to yeah, Drake.
Are you kidding me? I wish I could give my son $200 million if I was a coach. Yo, the NBA doesn't give coaching jobs to guys who may or may not sucker punch one of the players and staff. You need to fall back, Dre. Let's just be frenemies.
All right, the last little part looks zesty. But like I said, Austin Rivers got on in my ass. He really has some key points, especially the front office, down to the lineups, down to the key role players. They had some squads, and Dre just needs to just be a little bit more humble. I feel like that's why motherfuckers getting tired of him. He just talks a little bit too much. Entirely too fucking much for my liking, honestly. Hit people a lot in their fucking face too. That ain't cool. But big picture take, second round ain't about stars looking good. It's about what problems that can be solved and which coach is gonna blink first, which stars handles the pressure, and which role players becomes that guy. By this time next week, somebody's season is gonna be over, and somebody's confidence is gonna be fucking dangerous. Like, but that's all I got for this episode of 3Ps in the Pod. Like I said, we out in the Caribbean right now. We got the Suns here. We got the Magic here. Come on, Paolo. We got some friends down here, y'all. Damn, Jess Borden, the Trailblazers got here. Damn, what's the name of them got here last night? The Hawks and shit. Rockets here. We got some Toronto and them just made it. So we finna have fun, y'all. Real party shit going on. Peace.